Gillette Stadium in five. Foxborough, Mass. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Set, go.
A first carry for Kenyon Drake. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10.
They can't stop us. They cannot.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Though certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Back deep, Ryan Switzer. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it.
25-yard line.
Let's go. 70, Indy.
I got you. I got you.
Undercrush, get it. Undercrush.
Now a handoff looking right. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under
28-30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout.
To you yesterday when we were watching film, you said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Down deep on Miami's side of the field.
Baby, let's go. Get excited.
Big play there for New England. 43 yards. Well, they lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10.
You don't want none. Hey.
And he'll give it here to his running back.
Check nine.
The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now they try the right side here. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Slam.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. A great play there. With touchdown number 23 here on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running, it's Drake. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Hey, check.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. They'll drop the throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Patriots take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 38. Sony Michel, his first carry. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And to give this time to the tailback. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Check 3, check now.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. A great effort there. With another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Boom! Big hit all day. Sack City.
And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Sacks.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
I'm playing the wrong football.
And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41.
Here we go.
It's a big play there for Miami. 47 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. He's at the 30, 20, 10. And he will finally be taken out of bounds as it's an enormous play there on the final snap of this first quarter. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. A great play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. No problem there on the extra point. And it's now 21-0. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometime
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Boom! Sack, baby! Sack!
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time.
And he's going to go down again.
That's right.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
on 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Switzer. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all.
Let's go.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And finally out of bounds, just a few yards short of the goal line at the 3. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And he keeps fighting his way into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. The extra point up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
The tackle there by Richard Sherman. Here's a 2nd and 7. And he hits Drake. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. They're going to look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Switzer on the return. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
Double tight, double tight.
We got four. We got four.
Now a handoff looking right. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Get it.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. A quick throw into the hands of Switzer. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
90, Wolf. Bravo. 51's the Mike. 51's the Mike. Ricky.
Right here, right here.
To throw on second and 6.
Right here.
Jones throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Phillip Dorsett, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And again this time to the tailback.
Run, go!
And down inside the 15 he goes. That one good for 13 and a New England first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Mike 55, Mike 55.
Here it comes.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a second and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
That's a good shot.
1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be first and goal.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on third down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on third downs all year long. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for third down. This defense hasn't let him in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. Third and goal from the 2. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. And his kick is indeed good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me, partner.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the three's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the three is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Safarian Jenkins has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Wilson's got it complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 25 yards that time.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to come.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
That's what I'm talking about.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, this from 46. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
That's to his running back, Sony Michel. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Let's go, fellas.
So we now proceed to the start of the second half. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
So here are the Patriots to take over. They are working on that very impressive 9-game win streak, looking to get it to 10 as they've got the lead here, 1st and 10.
Go now. 10 Lobo. Gone.
They gonna need some therapy out
there. He's coming.
They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And some room to maneuver. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A big play there. With touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year, as his guys continue to pour it on. The point after is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. 1 play, 75 yards, 6 points. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
2nd and 14. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Patriots. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a 1st down.
What's the old adage, partner? Don't judge the book by its cover, because this guy, he takes the mantra that he'll go down with a brisk gust of wind and sets it on its head. Great effort there to break a tackle and come up with a nice game.
And he's brought down. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Defense wins championships, baby.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. A great play there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Pats take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point up and through, and that will extend this big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with a New England touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Baby, let's go. Get excited. Let's go. Let's go.
The New England defense gearing up to take the field. Forced the fumble last time. Up on the scoreboard, things going their way.
Things are rocking easy now, and they feel good about themselves, confident, taking the ball away in the last possession. They're going to try and do it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Boom! That's how we
Man,
do
he
it.
got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the...
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Sack, baby, sack. Eat, eat, eat.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
You got it.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Fielded at about the 28. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough.
Ready, ready. 70, Indy.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now.
Watch the screen.
Now a handoff
Tighten
here
up,
to his
tighten
running
up,
back.
Tighten up.
And he's taken down inside the 30. That'll be a New England 1st down, a gain of 12.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Slam.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check, 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 check.
Now a carry for P-Ryan. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
On the double.
55. Check 55. Mike. Hey, get in the way.
At the 16-yard line.
They'll run it here with P-Ryan.
Run.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Odd. 5 down. Stand up in.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. A great effort there. With touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point safely through. From Soldier Field, meanwhile, in Chicago, a third-quarter score. The Bears have just scored, so they add on to their lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I'm coming back.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, he really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. They'll set up to throw. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
I'm going to hit you all day.
Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Back now in Foxborough. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Back now in Foxborough. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. With it is Jackson. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over first and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. He's got daylight. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, 5, and he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game. and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. A great play there. Becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now here come the Dolphins. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that side.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. Now there's also a flag to go with it. Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty? When you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
Oh, he was looking for Parker, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. Parker unable to get that one. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Again, here's P. Ryan. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here's P. Ryan. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
Yeah, baby!
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Bust through the tackle. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Trey Hendrickson. And that will force a turnover on downs. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard jump.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Able to power through. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Pirine. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the carry there, it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And to give this time to the tailback. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 12 yards there and a 1st down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these 2 teams meet.